Welcome to the Fashion Awards 2024. I'm Bliss Foster. This is Daniela Foster.
Hi.
Hi. Danny wanted to adjust my tie before we really got started here. Thank you so much.
That's a cravat.
Oh yeah, it's a cravat. I mean, technically it's a twilly, I guess. I don't really know, but yeah, lots of like fringe and stuff. I love this thing. Best color palette nominees are Craig Green, Spring 25, Look 9. Miss Sohi, Spring 24, Look 12. Nensito Jaka, Spring 25, Look 41. Marnie, Fall 24, Look 32. Jill Sander, Fall 24, Look 15. Zegna, Spring 25, Look 5. Saint Laurent, Spring 25, Look 49. Chloe, Fall 24, Look 47. Aurelie, Fall 24, Look 16. Enfant Riche Deprime, Fall 24, Look 16. And the award goes to, and I don't think it was close, Saint Laurent, Spring 25, Look 49. I do not know how you can get much of a better color palette than that. And also, I was raised in this house, so jewel tones clearly pretty important to me personally. And actually that leads us into a good segue as to kind of how this was actually done. Most publications, especially fashion publications, are very fond of doing the least amount of work that they possibly can. So they let all of their users vote, and then they just publish the results and maybe chat GPT a paragraph or two about each of the results or whatever. So what we wanted to do was we were like, this is a really great opportunity for us to review everything that happened this fashion year, in the year 2024. So we're not just doing spring, fall 2024. We are doing the calendar year of 2024. So that is fall 24, men's and women's, and then spring 25, men's and women's. All four of those shows happened within the 2024 calendar year. We are only considering runway shows from New York, Milan, London, Paris, and haute couture, obviously. We cover a ton of independent brands on this channel that don't do runway shows. What this award ceremony for, specifically ceremony, I'm in my parents' house. What this ceremony is for is just for brands that have made the sacrifice to put on a runway show and do the whole damn thing. Best Single Fashion Idea 2024. So this was a super weird category because it was just like, who had an idea that almost was like too crazy to really work seriously, but that it's so well executed as a crazy idea that it's just like, oh, it's perfect. Anything to add to that?
It was really hard to decide.
It was, because you and I kept arguing over what an idea was. And all the categories are not nearly this abstract, but yeah, this one was a very strange one to try to come to a determinant on. Yeah. The nominations are Schiaparelli, Spring 24, Look 18. Quick side note here that for couture shows, which Schiaparelli is couture, they do Spring 24 and Fall 24 were the two seasons that happened within the 2024 calendar year. I would explain why that is, but it's honestly really boring and still doesn't make a lot of sense, so just roll with it. The specific idea for this one was this like blinders with a little window through it, like just a shape that just makes no sense for a human's body, but is so beautiful.
It looks like the winged victory statue at like the Louvre.
Thank you. Yeah, the winged victory statue. Yeah, absolutely.
Is that what that art piece is called? Is that what that's called?
Winged victory. Yeah, the one that's at the top of the staircase
Yep.
of the Louvre, the really famous one. Yeah, the one that we like barely, we sort of know what it was originally shaped like, but we don't know for certain.
I think so.
And we found her hand not
Did
too
we really?
long. Yeah, it's now displayed next to Winged Victory. Tom Brown, Fall 24, Look 46. The idea here, of course, is that Tom Brown is a customer of Lesage, who makes the greatest tweeds in the world. They make the tweeds for Chanel and a few other companies. Tom Brown took their custom Lesage tweed and dipped that shit in tar. We got to touch this stuff in person. It was bananas. It was so fucking cool. Oh my gosh, I have never wanted a Lesage thing more. Dilara Fendicoglu, Fall 24, Look 31. What was this one selected? It was the shorts, right? The
shorts.
Yeah, shorts in quotes, they're panties, but like it's like the coin panty thing. And this is a great demonstration of why we like Dilara so fucking much, is because she's a totally independent brand. I don't know how many product offerings she has, but this is very much like I'm doing this on my own kind of thing. And there's not enough money here to do just huge, crazy fireworks shows, but still there is such considered ideas and such craft to this stuff that we can't help but constantly look at her new stuff. It's great. I love this look. Victoria Beckham, Spring 25, Look 5. A lot of this show was about these molded bustiers, but this was a very bold idea where she took a kind of traditional shape for a dress and then incorporated a molded bustier over one side of the stomach, chest, and breast. Duran Lantique, Spring 25, Look 34. This idea specifically that I'm referring to here is the panties. So many panties as like ideas for this one, but it's completely...
Because they're not clothes.
Because they're not... Do what?
Because they're not clothes.
Yeah.
They're just... It's stylish underwear.
Stylish underwear, but it's so...
It's so compelling, of course.
The idea is so great, because like Duran Lantique, every time you see it, you're like, that's not good. No one would wear that. I could 100% see a number of different musical artists wearing that exact pair of bottoms, and it would look incredible on them. Loewe, Spring 25, Look 46. I believe you told me that this is entirely made of mother of pearl. Yeah. Like individual like scales of mother of pearl.
I have no idea.
The whole thing is just stiff though. It's like it's made of metal.
Yeah.
Issey Miyake, Spring 25, Look 44. This one was just really beautiful layering. This show was conceptually a triumph. Most of the new Issey Miyake shows are conceptual triumphs. This is just one where they were able to kind of cut through everything and then just sort of be like, it's a very loose, drapey, beautiful morph suit. And then like this off-white kind of earthy color that it has, like the whole thing is just like, no one, very few people would ever wear this, but it's so beautiful. Comme des Garçons, Spring 25, Look 16. This is actually one that you advocated for specifically that we include and nominate. Why did you want this one so bad?
The best way that I could describe it at the time was that it was cocoon-like, obviously, but in like the absolute best way possible, it looks like a tampon.
It does, yeah.
And I don't know why I like that so much.
I think it's because Ray is one of the only designers in the world that can actually do something like that and it not be a joke. I think that she is one of the only ones who is so deadly serious and so committed to her work that anyway. Walter Van Beirendonck, Fall 24, Look 4. This is just classic Walter stuff. It is an idea where you look at it and, everybody who's watching this is mom would just be like, that's so silly. Who would wear that? No one's going to wear that. How much does that cost? And then, of course, you see some super fan of Walter walking down the street and it's like, holy shit, it fucking works.
I feel like this whole category could be called, Your Mom Has No Idea What This Is.
Yeah, possibly so. Comme des Garçons, nominated twice. Fall 24, Look 3. I mean, for me, just the fact that like the shape of the top and then the pants work so well.
Those are pants.
It looks like a skirt. It is actually pants, and man, you
can walk in them. It seems
sweeping the streets when you wear them. That's it. The winner is, and I am so happy to say this, Duran Lantique, Spring 25, Look 34. I think that Duran is going to end up being something like our new McQueen. Duran seems to be the only one who is able to take ideas that are like just impossible. And they're in the realm of wacky. Like they almost look like they should be like funny, but then it's like, dude, it works. This fucking works. He's walking in them. It's not like riding up weird. It doesn't look weird. Like, yes, you'd have to like take a little care if you wanted to wear it like through an entire concert on stage or something. But like for a music video, this rips. Yeah. It's so perfect.
Yep, agreed.
So excited for the next Duran show. Best headwear. This is anything that goes on the head. Headband, hat, visor. We didn't submit any, but if there were any really incredible masks, we would have considered masks for this. Just anything worn on the head. Schiaparelli, Fall 24, Look 28. Schiaparelli, Fall 24, Look 16. Balenciaga, Fall 24, Look 1. Couture. Simone Rocha, Fall 24, Look 37. Marni, Spring 25, Look 42. Prada, Spring 25, Look 20. Zomer, Spring 25, Look 26. Bianca Saunders, Spring 25, Look 19. Homme Plissé Issey Miyake, Fall 24, Look 16. Dior Men, Fall 24, Look 4. And the winner is... I insisted on this one so hard and I advocated for it so hard. The winner is Prada Spring 25, Look 20. I love the history of Prada, obviously, like the whole thing. I would love to go to their shows if we went to Milan. I am not a Prada obsessive or Prada super fan. I get it. I like it. I am not obsessed with it. This is such a fucking cool idea.
It's obsession worthy.
It is obsession worthy. Oh, like Prada in general?
No, that hat.
That hat in general. And obviously, like Tuba Avalon, like, you can't.
Prada Queen.
Prada Queen, yeah, seriously. Fucking love that hat. Best miscellaneous accessory. This is anything that doesn't fit into a big category like shoes or handbag or whatever. Just something where it's like, oh, there really might not be anything else like that thing at all on the runway. Enfant Riche Deprime, Spring 25, Look 11, double belt thing. Simone Rocha, Fall 24, Look 36. These earring things. I'm just going to say things after each one to make sure that like there's equal weirdness spread across all of them. Simone Rocha, Spring 25, Look 25. Specifically, we were talking about this weird flower holding accessory thing that seems to be perfect for reuse if you are a florist. Sunny, Fall 24, Look 15. Obviously, we were talking about the octopus that is swallowing her head. Prada, Spring 25, Look 5. Sunglasses. Valentino, Spring 25, Look 34. Weirdly enough, the belt. Love that belt. Very subtle, very unusual, very stylized. I like it. Balenciaga, Spring 25, Look 50, the fucking hat mask. I totally fucked up. There were masks submitted this year in the form of Balenciaga. You can see completely through that thing.
But it also doesn't count as like headwear because it's on your face rather than your head.
It's meant to be worn over the face because there is stuff inside so that it can sit comfortably against you like this and you still see straight out of it.
Like a pair of sunglasses, really.
Yeah, like a massive pair of sunglasses. Yeah, anyway, a lot of explaining there. Enfant Riche Deprime, Fall 24, Look 7. This is the crazy belt thing. That massive piece of sterling silver hardware is how you change the tightness or looseness of the belt. Enfant Riche Deprime, Fall 24, Look 4. Specifically, you can barely see it in the runway photo, but the chopsticks that are holding her hair. They made a full set of those. They're sterling silver chopsticks. They look fucking incredible. It's wild. Alaya, Fall 24, Look 15. The gold bracelet things and the pom-poms are all meant to be worn as like a single accessory.
And they sell them.
They do sell them, right?
Yep, they sell them just like that.
Cool. The winner is Sunny, the tentacle swallowing snood thing. It's so cool. Like, I feel like that would, you could throw that on with the right kind of very simple outfit and it would just be like, I'm the best dressed person here. Easy.
Yeah. It packs a huge punch for what it is.
Yeah. Sunny's stuff is they're so good at getting attention on runways that it has been very challenging for me to be like, no, you actually have to circle back and consider the clothes specifically because they are not just phoning that in. The clothes there are quite serious. Best shoulder. There are only 6 nominees for this one. Miss Sohi, Spring 24, Look 6. Standing Ground, Spring 25, Look 17. Loewe, Spring 25, Look 39. Carolina Herrera, Fall 24, Look 55. Mame Kuraguchi, Spring 25, Look 14. Matre Pierre, Fall 24, Look 17. The winner is Standing Ground, Spring 25, Look 17. I think we both submitted this one to this category.
We did. Standing Ground is so good. I really hope that they can make their like custom dress business really work out.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I was really rooting for them for the LVMH prize. He's a talented guy.
Yeah, he really is. And this shoulder is something that's been popping up a few different times. It's kind of like molded, very sloped, almost like a football type shoulder, but like it's much more subdued and wearable. This is something that you see a lot of different places right now. This is a excellent execution of that I think will be looked back upon fondly when that shape of shoulder kind of goes like out of vogue or whatever.
But it's even cooler because it's not just that. It has like the little pearls in it, the little beads.
Oh yeah, which is kind of at least for this show, that was kind of the signature for this one.
I think that something like that is generally the signature of this brand.
Yeah. Well, it's beautiful. That little like bead detailing work and stuff. Yeah, it's great. I would love to see these clothes in person. Real quick. So this is a pretty ambitious project that we thought would be like a fun afternoon, like oh, let's look at runway shows together, and then it just turned into like a 4-day like mega project where we worked a ridiculous amount of time on this. Basically what we did is we wanted to consider every single runway look individually for each category. So what we did was Daniela and I separately like put on headphones and then on our laptops opened up every show. I went through 95% of every runway show, every picture individually.
Yep.
And I think you did more than me.
Yes, I think I actually really finished all of them.
Yeah. We combined all 4 cities worth after we had reviewed it was like 50,000 images or something stupid that we had to review. We screenshotted a ton of them. We then combined them into one folder. We got rid of the duplicates. And then you and I went through every single look and then said, oh, that belongs in best shoulder. That should be nominated for this. And we would, some looks got put into 5 or 6 categories to be considered. And then once we had gone through all of the fucking looks like that, we then had to start over and be like, okay, best color palette. How many ones did we put in this folder? We put 65 looks in this folder. We have to whittle this down to 10 and then pick a winner. That was the full process for doing this. It was pretty crazy. Best knit. Jordan Luca, Spring 25, Look 22, specifically the polo. JW Anderson, Spring 25, Look 16. The whole item is one piece of knitwear. Magliano, Spring 25, Look 16, snake sweater. Dublé, Fall 24, Look 9, the inside-out mask face sweater. Tom Brown, Fall 24, Look 49, the top, the cardigan. Prada, Fall 24, Look 19, the top. Sunny, Fall 24, Look 12, the top. Bottega Veneta, Fall 24, Look 55, the double layer sweater. JW Anderson, Fall 24, Look 9, the cardigan. Mame Kuraguchi, Fall 24, Look 1, the sweater. Loewe, Fall 24, Look 29, the knitwear on the top half of his body. And the winner is Bottega Veneta, Fall 24, Look 55. This is an idea that has been done a million times with t-shirts. The double T is something that I'm pretty sure Helmut Lang has done. Rick Owens makes the best one that I've ever seen. Jordan Arthur Smith makes quite a good one that does pretty effectively double as a dress. I've never seen this done with sweaters, and I've never seen it done with a thick sweater, and I've certainly never thought that that idea could work.
Yeah, and there seems like I don't know how they're achieving that, like, depth is the wrong word. The structure in that collar.
Yeah. I assume that there's something to reinforce it. I don't think with the t-shirts with double T's you can pull them completely apart and it's like, oh, it's maybe a dress now or whatever. But like with this, I don't know if you could pull it all the way apart. But I do believe, because none of their clothes are bullshit. They don't make anything that's bullshit. And that's why everything's so fucking expensive, is because like pretty much if you are buying a Bottega Veneta piece, and when we talked to a Bottega Veneta rep recently at one of our local store, she was like, that's literally how I sell the clothes. Is I go like, honey, your kids will fight over that shit. Like we do not sell bullshit in the clothing category. It's expensive, but if you can afford it, it's the best. And I'm guessing that there's a structure somewhere in the neck to give that like really like
angular kind of
and that bounciness, that fullness. But that thing's just fucking gorgeous. And it's great how like, because double T's when you're doing double T's, the idea with them that people want is that it gives guys that like, oh, I just got out of the pool and I'm wearing a t-shirt look where it's like twisted and it looks kind of sexy across you. So when you wear a double T, don't laugh at me. When you're wearing a double T, it sort of simulates that effect because the two layers are stretching against each other. But with this, it's found a new use for the double thing, which I love. Anyway, next category, best pant. This one was fucking difficult to decide on. Altazura, Fall 24, Look 1. Dilara Findicoglu, Fall 24, Look 25. Carolina Herrera, Spring 25, Look 3. JW Anderson, Fall 24, Look 26. Dolce & Gabbana, Spring 25, Look 40. Balenciaga, Spring 25, Look 15. Mame Kuraguchi, Fall 24, Look 1. Alaya, Fall 24, Look 43. Chloe, Fall 24, Look 15. Comme des Garçons, Fall 24, Look 3. And the winner is Alaya, Fall 24, Look 43. How could it be anything fucking else?
Yeah.
How much do those pants cost, babe?
They cost $30,000, $30,000 or $35,000.
They actually did go to sale, and they were something like an entry class luxury vehicle.
Oh my God.
I think that's, I'm not a car guy at all. I think
But
that is,
also-
I think you could find some entry class luxury vehicles.
I'm sure. Also, that's like, it was just a bunch of wool stacked on top of each other. It's a bunch of the suiting wool. And just getting the wool for a suit by itself is already so pricey that I'm not too shocked that this is how much it would cost just in terms of materials. I don't think that they are making a killing on that item, no matter what. But crazy that it exists.
When items go up to that expensive, I think generally they're barely making money on them. Is usually that's not true universally, and I don't know if that's true of those pants or not. But generally, I find that when it's just kind of like, why are you charging $12,000 for that coat? And it's like, because really, if we charge what it was worth for my team's time to actually get this thing made beginning to end, I would be charging $50,000, but I can't do that, so it's $12,000. An entry-class luxury vehicle is around $40,000. So, it's not as nice as an entry-class luxury vehicle, but,
Kind of close.
Kind of close. Okay, best skirt. J.W. Anderson, Spring 25, Look 11. Maison Margiela, Spring 24, Look 7. Grace Ling, Spring 25, Look 23. Bottega Veneta, Fall 24, Look 67. Bottega Veneta, Spring 25, Look 64. Prada, Spring 25, Look 9. Zomer, Spring 25, Look 12. Acris, Spring 25, Look 39. Balenciaga, Spring 25, Look 36. Alaya, Fall 24, Look 16. Duran Lantink, Fall 24, Look 10. And the winner is, it has to be Acris. Spring 25, Look 39. What are these called, babe?
Albert calls them hat bands.
Hat band skirt.
I just don't want people to think I'm saying headband.
Yeah, not headband. Hat band why does he call them that?
Well, because they look like the edge of like a hat. That's the way that they're attached.
Okay, cool. I feel
That's
like
how we get that amazing effect.
what Albert told us was, he said, I've seen so many. Albert has been the creative director at Acris for as long as he's been an adult. Like he just finished his 100th show, I believe. This was his 101st show, I think, if not 102nd. What he said was, I've seen a million skirts in my life, and so many of them are so beautiful on the runway, and you're like, oh my gosh, she's a dream, she's so perfect. And then he was like, and then a woman wears it to a party, and she sits down once, and the skirt's ruined. He was like, it's not destroyed, but like it's bent and it's weird, and it has these weird kinks in it now. He's like, I wanted a material where I could really show out with the shape and give it this beautiful movement and the transparency. But then I want it to work. I want you to sit on the subway, then stand up and still look beautiful.
You can shove it into your suitcase and it'll retain the same shape.
Thank you. Yeah, he did say that specifically, I
Yep.
think. Yeah, that is a huge reason why we love Acris so much, is because they are another just like no bullshit brand. They develop so many of their own textiles. And Albert went to one of his textile manufacturers, I'm assuming, and said, this is the problem I'm trying to solve. I want it to sort of be like this material, but I want these problems of that material to go away. Help me find a solution. And then they workshop it for a few weeks, and then they bring him something perfect. And it's never been made before. Like, if you're over here being like everything in fashion has been done, literally just look at Acris. The shit's incredible. It's crazy. Best dress in the category of ready to wear. I feel like I should be like making little speeches like they do at the Oscars, where I can be like, the best dress ready to wear is the heartbeat of our lives. Everyone has, and just, yeah, make up other shit from there. Alaya, Spring 25, Look 44. Nancy Dojaka, Spring 25, Look 36. Sunny, Fall 24, Look 21. Ferragamo, Fall 24, Look 49. Bottega Veneta, Fall 24, Look 65. Victoria Beckham, Spring 25, Look 29. Junya Watanabe, Spring 25, Look 13. Enfant Riche Deprime, Fall 24, Look 4. Alaya, Fall 24, Look 40. Yoji Yamamoto, Fall 24, Look 6. And the winner is, it literally had, you and I looked at each other and we're like, we have no choice. It's Victoria Beckham, Spring 25, Look 29. I have never seen that shape on a dress before. I loved that shape of the dress, and the green color was perfect for it.
It's so experimental. Like
Yeah.
it's doing a lot with very little. I mean, it's like a sheer fabric and some boning, but then it really does something.
And I will say, for the record, I was the one, not like bragging that like I picked the winner or whatever. I have been ride or die for this basically since we attended that show. And like you wrote the review for Victoria Beckham or whatever, but like while I was editing, I think I edited that segment, I just like could not get over the shape of that thing and how it moved. It's so beautiful. And that really, this was a kind of embarrassing lesson for me about preconceptions about a fashion brand. Victoria Beckham was something that I never paid any attention to. And then we went to 2 shows by her. And this most recent one, I was like, I would be an idiot if I denied it. This was an incredible show. And that wasn't the only one. There were other looks too that were incredible. But yeah, best dress, ready to wear. Got to give it to Vicky.
Congrats, Posh Spice.
Congrats, Posh Spice. I had such a huge crush on you when I was 7 years old. Here we go. Folks, it's the insane stuff. The $100,000 dresses. Best dress couture. Jean-Paul Gaultier. Spring 24, look 26. This was guest creative directed by Simone Rocha, I think. Yes. Jean-Paul Gaultier, Spring 24, look 12. Creatively directed by Simone Rocha. Miss Sohi, Spring 24, look 10. Artizai, Fall 24, look 9. Valentino, Pier Paolo Piccioli, Spring 24, look 53. Miss Sohi, Spring 24, look 21. Miss Sohi, Spring 24, look 7. Maison Margiela, Spring 24, look 2. Schiaparelli, Fall 24, look 10. Tom Brown, Fall 24, look 11. Jean-Paul Gaultier, Fall 24, look 3. Creatively directed by Felice. Jean-Paul Gaultier, Fall 24, look 1. Creatively directed by Felice. And the winner is Schiaparelli, Fall 24, look 10. This was the like loading screen for the Vogue app for like the last 6 months. This is the movement's crazy.
Nobody does it like them.
Daniel Roseberry, our hero from Texas, he is I'm so proud of that man. Like it makes me there's not a lot
Thank God he's American.
I know, seriously. Like cuz we have the dangerous place that Americans put themselves in for our like whole history is that like we have a reputation for fucking stuff up. We've done that to novels and paintings and everything else.
Earned.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Well
we fuck things up in a good way. But the problem is if you don't keep innovating, then you just get a reputation for being noisy and annoying. Because if you're just messing stuff up, that's no good if it's not like incredible and game changing. But that's how I think American artists of many mediums made their reputation.
You want to be disruptive but not disturbing? Question mark.
Yeah, disruptive but not disturbing.
But not something else.
Yeah, but not something. I was like disturbing. I was like, I don't know. Some of the scap stuff is a little disturbing. It's just beautiful. I mean, just they are able to so perfectly balance just dresses that look beautiful on women's bodies and then just fantasy stuff that just can't exist in real life except for this like little moment. And it's perfect. Do you know if any celebrities have worn that?
Not that I know of.
I bet probably it's going to go to somebody because this is
ought
one
to.
where it's like, oh, it's a year and a half old. Who cares? Like wear this on the red carpet. It is immortal, this dress. Best suit. Okay. So this is a men's or women's category. Most of these are like if it fits onto a guy or woman, then we just count it as one category. We're not trying to really split them out. But best suit is it's a traditional-ish suit. No traditional standard suits were nominated. Like the suit that I'm wearing right now, despite these awesome like pockets that are not on most suits, this would not be enough of a detail change to nominate it for best suit. And again, this is all runway stuff. But
innovative suit, maybe.
Innovative suit, a radical change to the traditional suit. Thank you. Enfant Riche Deprimer, Spring 25, look 3. Schiaparelli, Spring 24, look 12, couture. Kate, Spring 25, look 30. Sandy Liang, Spring 25, look 11. Jill Sander, Spring 25, look 4. Sean Soon, Spring 25, look 28. Comme des Garçons en Plus, Spring 25, look 16. Hermès, Fall 24, look 38. Cho Chang, Fall 24, look 16. Matre Pierre, Fall 24, look 1. And the winner is Comme des Garçons en Plus, Spring 25, look 16. This was your submission.
Yeah.
It was a great submission.
God, look at it. Are you joking?
For how much Homme Plus and mainline comb experiment and how much the stuff looks unwearable, I hate that word, but like how much it looks unwearable, there are some times where they come across an idea in their like search of like must create something completely new. Every once in a while they create something where it's like, wait, stop, that was it, that was perfect. And this is one of those situations like that. I don't know, it's perfect. That is an incredible idea for a suit.
Doing these short kilt little bottoms is pretty nuts. I really like how the lapel becomes a cape and then there's another like hidden lapel kind of underneath it. Also, I just love the hat. I love when Homme Plus does stuff like that. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, the headwear has always been a really cool. Man, that would be an incredible and very easy coffee table book. Just photos of all of the
comb hats,
of all the comb headwear from all the seasons, just like with like a white background, just like an excellently taken portrait.
DSM, call me.
Yeah, DSM, call me. I charge a cheap finder's fee. All right, best top. This one might have had 300 submissions to the category when we first started.
Yes, it did.
This one, and you and I had to
duke it out.
We duked it out for sure, but like we duked it out with most of them. But like this one, it was like you and I looked at each other and we said like, okay, wait, I promise you to make inroads with you and to be cooperative and to work with you, and because we had radically different ideas about what did and did not work for this category. The nominees are Enfant Riche Deprimé, Spring 25, Look 13. To be clear, I am referring to the fencing jacket, not to the gloves, not to the belts, just the leather fencing jacket. Jill Sander, Fall 24, Look 55. SS Daily, Spring 25, Look 15. Specifically referring to the wooden beads that make up this top underneath the jacket. Victoria Beckham, Spring 25, Look 17. Duran Lantink, Spring 25, Look 28. Victoria Beckham, Spring 25, Look 3. Sakai, Spring 25, Look 10. The white part and the navy part that appears to be inside out, those are both part of the top. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Noir K Nina Mia, Fall 24, Look 26. Alaya, Fall 24, Look 43. Loewe, Fall 24, Look 7. And the winner is Victoria Beckham, Spring 25, Look 3. You pointed out, because I edited that segment and you wrote it, the Victoria Beckham segment, you were like, there is a history in fashion of molded bustiers. Yeah. The molded bustier is trying to achieve that look. And you pointed out that there's been a history of this stuff from Tom Ford and Issey Miyake and a million other brands. And that if you line them all up, this looks the best and it's not close. This is maybe the best molded bustier that has ever been made. Go ahead.
It feels like it's the height of all of those ideas.
Yeah.
It feels like it was like we achieved the pinnacle.
Yeah. Crazy. It's absolutely insane. And it won't fit. I mean, that's the whole that's the reason molded bustiers are done so rarely, is because it won't fit on just anybody.
It's a finicky idea.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because it's hard. And if, especially when you're accommodating breasts, it's like it either fits or it doesn't if it's hard. Okay, best jacket. We differentiated between jacket and coat, just as one is short and one is long. Coats are long, jackets are short.
And deal with it.
And deal with it, yeah. We're the ones that spent 4 fucking days staying up late doing this. Tom Brown, Fall 24, Look 46, Couture. Balenciaga, Fall 24, Look 22, Couture. Jean-Paul Gaultier, Fall 24, Look 13, Couture. Dilara Fendikoglu, Fall 24, Look 31. Marni, Fall 24, Look 41. J.W. Anderson, Spring 25, Look 16. Balenciaga, Spring 25, Look 26. Walter Van Beirendonck, Spring 25, Look 31. Bianca Saunders, Spring 25, Look 7. I bought that jacket. Dublé, Fall 24, Look 36. And the winner is Jean-Paul Gaultier, Fall 24, Look 13, Couture by Nicola De Felice. This was incredible. You wrote the review for this, and this was your favorite collection from that season at Couture Week.
Yeah.
And
That
I
was
think
my favorite with the men's too.
yeah, it was your favorite look from the entire, or it was your favorite show from the entire trip. I don't know if this is your favorite look overall.
Sure.
But this jacket is incredible. Could you talk a little bit about how the construction of that works and why it looks like some parts are flapping open and others are not?
It seems like the whole jacket is made out of
Hook and eyes, I think.
but it's like strips of them, like tape that includes hooks and eyes.
I think they work the same way that zippers do, where there's the tape that they're mounted onto, and then the tape and the hardware are both sewn into the thing. Now, did they do that for this? I have no idea because it's couture, but that's typically how that's done. But yeah, it seems like tape.
I don't know because it also just sort of looks like a giant bra in a way, or at least the giant back of a bra.
But all those, every end of anything, you can see on the shoulder, the little bit peeking through in the photograph, all of that is little hooks and eyes that have all been fastened around everything, and it just gives it this otherworldly look.
Gosh, maybe it's offensive to say this, but it does really look like it's inspired by or kind of comes in the lineage of like the Stockman a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Considering that thing is fastened by hook and eye, it sort of seems to be in a similar silhouette to that jacket. This is such a cool...
I wonder if both Martin and Felice are making kind of a deconstructed reference to couture generally, because this is how you, I think maybe at one time, this solves a problem. You don't need to do a zipper. You don't need to do buttons, which will have this little weird tension all up them and stuff. Like when I like stretch out, like you get a little weird tension in the buttons. It kind of solves that problem of just like you will have a straight line up.
Yeah, and also consider that another part of the show did have a Stockman reference, in my opinion.
It did. I'm so, yeah, you're right.
So I believe that to be the case somewhat. This is a very cool take on that as an idea. Mm-hmm. If you had told me that is what his intention is, and we don't really know that, we can only really guess, that would be a very cool way to see that.
I can't wait for people in the comments to clown on me because I'm perceived so much as the Margiela guy for like my wife correcting me about a Margiela thing. The truth of the matter, y'all.
Guys, he taught me about that. So I don't know.
No, that wasn't even my angle on that. I was gonna say like Daniela did half of that series. Like this was very much like when we were dating and stuff, and you were like, "Well, I'm never gonna get to hang out with you if I don't like do work stuff with you, and I love fashion, so I guess we'll do this together." And then I learned how to balance my work and my life. But yeah, a lot of that was done by her. You oftentimes will tell me about Margiela things where I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. And you were like, yeah, I mean, you said it for the episode. Best coat. Enfant Riche Deparme, Spring 25, Look 27. Erdem, Fall 24, Look 47. Maison Margiela, Spring 24, Look 27, Couture. Junya Watanabe Man, Fall 24, Look 23. Walter Van Beirendonck, Fall 24, Look 31. Jill Sander, Fall 24, Look 12. Bottega Veneta, Spring 25, Look 50. Balenciaga, Spring 25, Look 47. Comme des Garçons en plus, Spring 25, Look 1. Sean Soon, Fall 24, Look 17. And the winner is Enfant Riche Deparme, Spring 25, Look 27. The Chapon. Our analysis of this has kind of an interesting storyline to it in that we went to the show, we went backstage, we love ERD as of recently. And when I was writing the analysis for that, because like on the plane ride home, I was like, please let me write this. Like I have such good ideas for this. And you were like, go for it. And I wrote this as like, this reminds me of the kinds of clothes and the kinds of decoration that like suburban like kids who grew up with comfort and safety and stuff wear when they want to look like a hard ass at the punk show that they're going to and they're like high schoolers and they have to sneak in and stuff. And then you were like, absolutely not. And you correct. You were like, that is factually incorrect, Bliss. And then you filled in the blanks, which are what?
Basically, it looked like a lot of these details looked a lot more like Central Asian, Middle Eastern style embellishments.
Yep.
Because I feel like I'd seen things in this genre before. And so we did some brief research on that.
You did all the research on this.
Did I really?
Yeah, you were super thorough about it.
And then we concluded that this was a much more ceremonial version of a chapon that seems to be used in Afghanistan, some other neighboring countries in that region.
Yeah.
We think that it's a discussion about Afghanistan, considering that Afghanistan is the opium capital of the world.
It's hard to determine. Apparently, when I looked this up, because obviously ERD has a lot to do with like opioids and stuff and like the opioid crisis. It's hard to determine what the actual opioid capital of the world is, but Afghanistan is certainly known. If you said like, where does opium come from? A bunch of people would just say off the top of their heads, Afghanistan.
Well, okay, maybe a better way of putting it is just that the plant originates from there
that region?
Exclusively, I think.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's grown in other places, but
it is, yeah. It makes heroin. You bet your ass it's grown other places. But yeah, I mean, like this is something where
clearly this is artisanal.
It is.
Like there is no questioning that.
But like ERD just seems so they seem so willing to, like, when the time calls for it, it's like, okay, gather the soldiers, we're making a coat by hand and we need everybody here and we need to figure out what we're going to do. And it really, theirs feels so much like it is professional, but it always still feels like a group project that a bunch of awesome creative friends did together.
Yeah.
It somehow manages to balance both those things. That coat is a fucking work of art. I hope that goes to a happy home. Next category, shifting it up before we come back to best look men's, best look women's, best collection, etc. We're going to go to the broader categories. These are fun. Best runway set 2024. Balenciaga, spring 25. Why was this nominated?
I really liked, it was the giant table, right? With all the chairs that were like pushed up to it where all the celebrities sat. Clearly this was some ode to Margiela. And
yep, the Trompe l'oeil season, spring 96. Yeah, where Margiela literally just pushed a bunch of like dining room style tables together, and that literally was the runway.
And it is 150 feet.
150 feet long, which Margiela's absolutely was not.
No, it was 3 different ones at Margiela's.
Yeah, they kind of snaked back and forth to the different tables, and they had little staircases going up and down. It was very elegant at the Margiela thing, and I think they had the same level of like surrealist horror. This Balenciaga show is when the surrealist horror of the two brands overlap the most, in my opinion.
Also, I really like that it looks more like a table. It has like the wood finishing kind of.
Yeah, it was a beautiful table.
Decorative, yeah.
For sure.
It looked great in person.
Balenciaga, fall 24.
Oh, this was just the room that was entirely made of screens. They could put up blue screen of death, and then also eagles flying over.
It was like floor, ceiling, walls, everything that you could touch against the wall was all a screen. Balenciaga did something like that before, yes?
Yeah, I think it was like spring 19, something like that.
Okay.
And this was just a more maximal version of that.
Yeah, very overstimulating.
Very ADHD brain.
Yeah. Coperni, spring 25, nominated because of the logistical prowess that is required to host a runway event at Disney. Just to review for anybody who didn't watch the Paris Fashion Week event or video, the mega video, you cannot buy a spot at Disney. You cannot buy after the park closes, you get to do a huge event with fireworks and a custom soundtrack and special announcements and a huge after party with a DJ and tons of cater. You cannot pay Disney to do that. If Disney does that, it's because they want to do it for you. And they apparently worked on this for 2 years logistically, emails back and forth, negotiations and like rules and how they're going to roll things out. And Coperni pulled it off. It was the most like logistically airtight event setting that I've ever been to. And it was, as it turns out, an incredible setup for a runway show.
Yeah.
Curved all front row. Everybody was front row and the whole thing was curved on both sides because it was a roundabout. And I mean, in front of the castle, the fireworks were a custom show. The whole thing was crazy.
Rode Space Mountain twice.
Yeah, rode Space Mountain twice at midnight. It was sick.
In 10 minutes, no waiting.
No waiting. Just waiting for the main buyer at Bergdorf Goodman to ride, and then I'm next, you know? It's great. Infrarouge Deprimé, fall 2024. This took place in a car garage in Paris that hosts a lot of different runway shows. ERD rented a shit ton of vintage luxury cars. Like the least nice car there were Mercedes. It was like all Mercedes, mostly Rolls Royces, but like cool ones from the 60s. None of those lame new Rolls Royces.
There were also like can fires all over and like...
There were actors. ERD is the only brand that I am aware of that puts like actors out for their runway set to set the mood. This one, there was one Rolls Royce, which I think Henry might own, where there was a kid in tails and a tuxedo. He's the chauffeur. He was like a 9-year-old standing in front of it, like drinking milk and like looking like he's like trying to bum a cig off of somebody. And he at one point took a key. Did you see this? He took a key and ripped it across the front of the Royce and like actually scratched it. I don't know. I don't understand how stuff happens with that brand. It's fucking crazy. And like one of the like kind of employees of the brand was like sort of like vibing out in like one of the cars and stuff. And there were these stuffed animals everywhere. It was very ominous and well executed. You at one point said other brands need to be studying how ERD does this, because most brands, it's very ham-fisted when they try to do this. And ERD, it really feels like you have stepped into Narnia.
I've never seen execution of
mise en scène.
Of mise en scène better than ERD in the industry, period.
Yeah. And speaking of which, at next nominee, ERD Spring 25. This one took place at Sotheby's Paris, which, yeah, again, like, just like, how do you book with Sotheby's Paris? I know it's possible to book events there. That's got to be way more than most. Who do you have to call to get into Sotheby's? They built custom cages for that show. One massive cage in the main room, a series of cages in the room we were sitting in that held the instrumentalists that were playing the soundtrack, and then a third cage alone with one guy in it who is an incredible actor. The main guy on the main cage downstairs, the big cage, got his head shaved in front of everybody before the show started. Which the whole thing, I mean, it really is a company where they're like, if they want to just like go build a bunch of custom cages, it's like, why do you want to build custom cages? And they're like, because I want to build cages. Like, we're running out of time. We've got to build these cages. It's incredible. Hermes, Fall 24.
Beautiful rainstorm.
Yeah, indoor rainstorm. It was really well executed. Very simple and tasteful, which is what Hermes does best. I mean, they're the only ultra luxury brand in Paris whose invitation is just, it is a plain, beautiful, thick, well-considered, beautiful colors, well-designed, plain piece of cardstock. And it is sent to you in an envelope with your name handwritten on it, and it is hand-delivered.
It's not trying to be something that it's not.
Correct.
I am a paper invitation. I should look like one.
Yep.
And I think that's a guiding philosophy for most of their brands.
Yes. Which is why you and I love them so much, is because they're like, we don't have to do tricks. We don't have to do any like insane stuff. We're Hermes. We already know what we're about, and we do it very well.
It was a dark room. It was raining in the center, and models walked around this little rain installation. So if you were looking through the rain from the opposite side, it looked like they were walking through the rain without having them get wet and get their clothes ruined, which...
But even though, like, I think that part of the reason they used it symbolically is because Hermes is a brand for women who do things.
Yeah.
It is not a brand for like, just like, oh, be ultra careful with everything. And like, oh, can I sit down? Just be really careful when you sit down. Like, they make clothes for women who appreciate nice things, who want luxurious materials. They want innovative cuts. They want ultra special things. They want the best. But they are also women where it's like, no, I mean, I could pay someone to tend my garden, but I want a garden. I like gardening. Mm-hmm. It is for that kind of woman, which I've always thought is incredibly cool. And the rain perfectly summarized that philosophy, I thought, where it's like, you don't have to work. Like, obviously, there are some things where you do have to be careful with them if you're going to the rain. Box leather, I think, is the thing that's like...
Box leather is the one that I know for a fact is not
it's
a
pretty
good place
delicate.
To be. There's one leather from Hermes that the really brilliant lady at 7RP was like, oh, ostrich in the rain. Ostrich leather can handle any rain.
Really?
Yeah, that was her big. She was like...
Well, and Hermes ostrich is like on another fucking level. Like, you have not felt ostrich leather. Okay, this is enough. I'm not going on too much. Prada, Fall 24, men's and women's. This one would just, I mean, I have always loved the idea of a glass floor terrarium type thing. I loved that when I was a little kid. I love it now. I have never seen that idea executed in real life or in like a cartoon better than Prada with that season. I thought it was brilliant.
I think it worked. I thought it worked really well with the show.
And Prada loves doing elaborate sets.
They always do. They had like the slime last year. They did that for both the men's and the women's. Yeah. And
slime was weirdly fitting. It weirdly fit with Prada. Very strange. Miu Miu, Spring 25. Why did you pick this one? This was your submission.
It's like, I don't know how to describe this. Mechanized sealing was the closest short descriptor I could come up with that.
It was like a factory, the item is finished at the factory because everything is on this like upside down, like carrying conveyor belt thing. And
it was a conveyor belt ceiling that was carrying what looked like show notes or something to that effect. It looked really fucking cool.
Yeah. Courage, Fall 24. Courrèges is just a brand that does set execution very well. They always have a ultra simple idea. It's never more than it needs to be.
Very minimal.
But this was the floor was breathing. And Nicola De Felice does the soundtracks. He either does them in collaboration with another musical friend, but he is very musically talented and has made dance music, I think, for a good bit of his adult life. And he always collaborates with some. He's very involved in the soundtrack. And they were like, oh, if there's going to be breathing, and like breathing is kind of part of the show, then I want the floor to breathe. And so like the floor would take deep breaths, and then it would exhale, and it would kind of recess a little bit down below the floor, and then it would inflate really big. It was absolutely beautiful. Jill Sander, Fall 24. This is the most like standard good execution of a runway set. This is something that I would show someone if they were like, I'm going to make a runway set. What should I do? I would show them this Jill Sander show.
It's ultra simple. I don't think that it cost them a whole lot of money. I think that they were just very considered with what they chose to do. And
the colors, the horn speakers with like on the floor specifically. Yeah. And like just the shape of them with the floor, the whole thing was very well executed. I love it when I walk into a space and it kind of tricks my brain into thinking that I'm in a cartoon.
Yeah.
And I mean, they crushed it this year.
Runway shows do that better than I think any other medium of art.
That is so true. Yeah. The winner is, you want to say it?
No, you should say it.
Okay. Enfant Riche Deprimé, Fall 24, The Car Garage. It's one of the best shows I've ever been to in my life. Yeah. The collection was unbelievable. The whole thing was, we already talked about it a bunch. That's it. The whole thing looked great. Best independently owned brand of 2024. Only 4 nominees. The nominees are Rick Owens, Owens Corp, Enfant Riche Deprimé, Acris, Simone Rocha. I don't even really know. I think we both were trying to pick like brands that are established. They're out in the world. They've been showing for a long time, but they have not succumbed to the temptation of being bought out.
Or just aren't small brands because they're not.
Yeah. Because obviously there's tons of incredible brands that make under $1 million a year. Yep. But yeah, we were looking for brands that are certainly big enough to be shopped around for conglomeration, yep, but have all said, get fucked. Yep. And yeah, they're all great. The winner is Enfant Riche Deprimé.
What a stellar year from ERD.
An incredibly stellar year, not just because of the runway show, but because like they're, when you start a brand at first, you start in a certain place. And then if you've been around for years, you're in a different place than where you started. ERD went through some of the biggest growth, the fastest that I've ever seen. And not just in like I don't know what their sales figures are, but like those clothes are incredible. Yeah. They're fucking crazy. And like the level of care.
And it's also that the decision was, I want to transition to something better. It was not just bigger.
Yeah.
It was very, very clear that the angle of growth was geared towards better.
Yeah. I want to make stuff I'm proud of. Seemed to be the calling of what that was. Just in stuff of like when Henry has a couple of minutes and he's talking us through a specific item, I can't quote him in any serious way, but like the level of like, well, and they couldn't do like this specific thing, so we had to kind of work around that. And I was like, oh, can we just really just like, he is so obsessive about like, it's gotta be a certain way, because like someone like Hermes, who is also an incredible brand, their idea is perfect. Whatever is in people's heads as perfect, that's what we must get at all costs. ERD has no benchmark. I mean, obviously perfect is very abstract, but ERD doesn't even have an abstract benchmark to go off of. It really is just what's the right emotional temperature for this thing, and they are just hell-bent on getting there. It's crazy.
It also, to me, I definitely get the impression that there is a lot of hard work being done behind the scenes that seems very exhausting. More so than other brands, I would say.
Best Conglomerated Brand 2024. Only 4 nominees. They are Loewe, Bottega Veneta, Alaya, Maison Margiela. All 4 of those brands had a pretty standout year. The winner is Bottega Veneta, creatively directed by Matthew Blasi. King. I have followed Matthew Blasi's work since he was the secret creative director at Maison Margiela, and since it was Maison Margiela, and the man worked under Martin. He was, I think, a muse for Raf Simons for a while. He like modeled, I think. That could be completely incorrect, but Yeah, he's just a really good art director that then ended up being the creative director, and he's fucking good at it. He is really breathing an energy into that house that I don't see many other places, and there is such a quiet, humble sincerity about it, which I know is difficult to think about in terms of like luxury brands, but man, yeah, especially in the lookbooks, I think you can really see where it's just sort of like, I don't think I've seen this from any other brand.
He's also not afraid to be wacky.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate. It's not
wacky in a cute way. Like wacky in like a, like you start dating somebody and then they tell you something and they're like kind of embarrassed about it. But then you're like, wow, that like makes you kind of a whole person knowing that about you.
That is such a great way of describing that.
Yeah. It's a very precious kind of wackiness.
Mm-hmm. Great job, Bottega Veneta. Great.
Seriously. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Matthew, if you care about, you know, this guy sitting on his parents' floor and like reading out names and stuff, but like seriously, you earned every bit of that. I wish we went to his fucking shows. We just don't go to Milan. I wish we did. Best small brand 2024. The nominees are Duran Lantink, Standing Ground, Sunny, Miss Sohi, Zomer. We love all 5 of those brands so much. Yeah. Like, this was extremely difficult to pick. The winner is Miss Sohi. Miss Sohi is going to be the best couturier alive.
I think I agree.
She is, give her another 10 years. She is already easy top 5 best couturiers alive. Give her another 15 years, she'll be number 1.
She needs a house.
She needs a house.
Like yesterday.
Yep. If this is what Sohi Park can do independently, y'all, like, yeah. Someone give her a job, but don't. Sohi, please do not quit your regular brand. Yeah. This shit's so good. She's incredible. They're yeah. I think it's just one of those situations where it's like, you know, it's all the tenured positions are taken, yeah. and they're waiting for some spot to open. Sohi Park had better be the first one, yeah, because she's the best. There's nobody better. We are to the final four categories. Best Couture Collection 2024.
What does that mean? What does best collection mean? Best overall?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's actually really relevant. The best collection means not so much that there could be incredible individual ideas in it, but it's like as a whole piece of art. And that in a little bit of a way takes in the setting, a little bit of a way takes in the soundtrack. It takes a model choice, makeup, hair, the outfits, the cohesion of the outfits is at least my huge thing is like, I need to see, sure, the shirt's beautiful. Did you make a whole collection inspired by the same core idea? There's cohesion, coherence, everything. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Balance, stuff like that.
Best Couture Collection 2024. The nominees are Thom Browne, Fall 24 Couture. Schiaparelli, Fall 24 Couture by Daniel Roseberry. Balenciaga, Fall 24 Couture by Demna. Maison Margiela, Spring 24 Couture by John Galliano. Jean-Paul Gaultier Couture, Spring 24 by Simone Rocha. Jean-Paul Gaultier Couture, Fall 24, Nicola Di Felice. The winner is... There's no choosing. It's Margiela. It has to be. There's no other choice. That might end up being, you know, you can't know in the present, but it really might end up being one of, it might end up being the best runway show of the decade. It was crazy. Yeah.
And you got to see it.
I was there in person. I'm very grateful. I was very sick that day. I had just travel, Paris flu type stuff, just Fashion Week sick. And yeah, I was freezing cold and was like, I'm so happy to be here. Let's fucking do this, boys. And we sat down and shivered while we waited for Kim Kardashian to show up. And then she finally did. And she sat down and then it started and just fireworks the whole time.
Best Couture Collection of the year.
Yeah. Shout out Pat McGrath. She was the one that gave it that like the zing to really make it where it's like, no, this will be glued to your timeline. And then, I mean, it is... That collection of clothes is, I think, what you and I... It's what everyone thinks haute couture is. Yeah. It's them sitting in a room and going, how do we take this to new heights? How do we do something no one's ever done before?
Leave it to John Galliano to fuck it up.
What was it? There were like 14 individual things. We're going to make an actual full breakdown of the entire show and all of the details and stuff. But they had to invent like 14 techniques to get this thing done. And it shows. It's beautiful, beautiful collection. Best Ready to Wear Collection 2024. This one has 10 nominees?
A lot of nominees. It has a lot of them.
Yeah. Altazara, Fall 24. Enfant Riche Deprimé, Spring 2025. Simone Rocha, Fall 2024. Simone Rocha, Spring 2025. Chloe, Fall 2024. Le Mer, Spring 2025. Marc Jacobs, Fall 2024. Bottega Veneta, Fall 2024. Bottega Veneta, Spring 2025. Balenciaga, Spring 2025. Alaya, Fall 2024. The winner is Alaya. How could it be anything else?
Also a show that happened in January, so it's been a long time.
Yeah. That is what when we left that fashion week, we didn't actually attend the Alaya show that time, so it's not in our coverage. But when we left that fashion week, I texted my best friend and said, "Hey, by the way, this is probably going to end up being the best show in recent memory." And I sent it to him, and he watched it and was like, "Oh shit, the ending." It's like, yeah, oh shit, the ending.
Shout out Cody.
Shout out Cody. The whole concept for the thing was, how much can we get done with wool? Peter Moulier, who worked with Raf Simons, he was Raf's right hand at the Raf brand and at Raf Dior. He's prominently featured in the Dior and I documentary. He's great. He's great at his job. He was a really good right hand, and it turns out he's an incredible creative director. He just wanted to see how much can we do with wool, and these pieces, just especially at the end. It was very much a show that could be carried entirely by one concept, and it's perfect.
Standout collection.
Standout.
Okay, y'all ready for the big?
Yeah, seriously, are y'all ready to get fucked up? Time for Best Look Men's. We'll start with Best Look Men's before we do Best Look Women's, because, I mean, let's face it, fellas, we're not driving the market like the ladies do. But this is anything. If this is couture, if this is, ready to wear or whatever, this is Best Look Men's overall. And also Best Look overall for all things. Model casting, hair, makeup, the shoot, like every part of it just as a single runway look. It is that. It is not just the item of clothing included, it's the whole deal.
The whole package.
The whole package. Enfant Riche Deprimé, Spring 25, Look 13. Rick Owens, Fall 2024, Look 31. Willie Chavaria, Fall 2024, Look 14. Dublé, Fall 2024, Look 7. Saint Laurent, Fall 2024, Look 7. Loewe, Spring 2025, Look 27. Sean Soon, Fall 2024, Look 17. Rick Owens, Fall 2024, Look 3. Enfant Riche Deprimé, Fall 2024, Look 21. Enfant Riche Deprimé, Fall 2024, Look 16. And the winner is ERD, Fall 2024, Look 16. You and I, this wasn't even a contest for you and I. We already, we knew what because we thought about and talked about that look for months after that show.
Yeah. That's I think my personal favorite look of this year.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's perfect. The color, the tone on tone on tone on tone on tone of like red leather boots that are very, very aggressively high. Red leather pants that are a different tone. Beautiful red leather jacket. I've tried that shit on. It's incredible. Red leather jacket, completely different tone of red, still beautiful. Red dripping down the tie, totally different color. Red on the belt, totally different color. They sing together.
This is what lets me know that the person behind this look is an artist.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you have to live your life with colors in order to see this and go, that's it.
And then the proportion was executed perfectly. I liked seeing super, super tall boots on a man. Mm-hmm. Model killed it.
That's the thing about Henry is that so many of his looks are like, man, that's so badass. And you just kind of walk away being like, so badass. And it doesn't even occur to you because it's so natural. It doesn't even occur to you that it's like, how often do you see thigh-high boots on men?
Yeah.
Like never, basically. But it works so well and it's so badass and it's so cool and it's so effortless that it's just like you don't even notice that he's doing all these like crazy kick flips behind you.
Yeah.
But yeah, easy winner with that one. Best look women's. And then we'll duke it out to see what's the best look overall. The nominees are, this is the big one. Maison Margiela, Spring 2024, look 28. Marc Jacobs, Fall 2024, look 10. Bottega Veneta, Fall 2024, look 26. Jill Sander, Fall 2024, look 51. Bottega Veneta, Spring 2025, look 63. Duran Lantink, Spring 2025, look 3. Junya Watanabe, Spring 2025, look 13. Enfant Riche Deprime, Fall 2024, look 23. Alaya, Fall 2024, look 43. Hermes, Fall 2024, look 24. And the winner is, would you like to say?
No.
Okay. Alaya, Fall 2024, look 43. It will probably be a really long time before I find a piece of video that has stuck in my brain more than that. It's beautiful, and it is a very uncomplicated kind of beautiful, which I just have no emotionally. Like if I just say like, what would I prefer? I get kind of freaked out by sincerity, which has kind of been this ongoing thing we've talked about with like, oh, irony, sincerity, everybody is irony poison. What are we going to do? Things like this remind me that it's like, it is human to be like a little bit gushy about stuff sometimes. Sometimes it can just be like, wow, trees are so beautiful and I don't have to say anything else about it. Let's look at trees. It's just, it's heartbreakingly beautiful.
Something that I feel like we also never talked about with this look is that the choice of shoes and jewelry was perfect. Thank you to whoever was responsible for not doing anything more
Not overcomplicating it.
than just those two touches.
Yeah.
That's all that it needed.
Yeah.
I'm glad that her hair stayed down. I'm glad that it was just the bracelet and its little pumps.
Yeah.
That's all it needed.
I wonder if maybe part of this look is to simulate the beauty of hair, where like think shampoo commercial where they're like doing these unrealistic, like playing it like a harp kind of stuff for hair. This almost kind of, I mean, it doesn't look like human hair, but like it has this, that kind of shimmery, many pieces forming a beautiful whole. It's like the same principle as water, but it's physical things.
I don't think Sacai intended to do this in their most recent show, but it definitely felt like they were doing a hair thing as well. Yeah. So I wonder if there's just something in the water
about hair
right now.
There's that big fake fur thing that we did for like, oh man, it feels like 6 seasons, which is definitely not what this Alaya look is. But I wonder if maybe it's trying to like trump all the people who have been like doing the fake fur, lots of movement, like type of thing, because it does create this great effect when you walk. I mean, just give them a big fake fur coat and just suddenly it's like, and it's crazy. But this sort of is like, it is the completion of what that idea wants to be. It's perfect. Thank you so much for joining us. This was so much fun. If you feel like you were kind of like swimming in the deep end there and you don't know any of these looks or any of these collections, we have massive Paris Fashion Week mega video breakdowns where we take all the time we need for every show that we attend when we go to Paris Fashion Week to really explore what is this designer artist doing mechanically to this artwork, the runway show, that makes it work the way it does. We're extremely proud of that work, and a lot of this was informed by that work, but it was a totally separate project. Go join the Patreon so that you can just watch a shit ton of extra content from us, a ton of really good stuff. We have a wardrobe tour on there. We have extended videos for the full Margiela series, and we just have exclusive videos that come out periodically, at least once a month. So yeah, go join it up. Love you all a ton. Tell me what winners you liked in the comments. Talk to you soon.